So this is the euro dollar analysis for Monday, the 27th of November. So let's have a look what's happened with prices continuing from last week. So if we just grab a pen here, you've got a pen. As we can see, prices did come up. We did have a little breakout all the way above 1910. Now, I did expect to see possibly some resistance at 1910, bringing us possibly down to 1860, beyond which we're looking at 1830. But we did break above this 1910. We do look poised. We do seem to have stalled in around at 1940, so we do look poised to test 1910 from above. If 1910 holds from above, we have to look for potential upside targets. Bear with me a second here. The next upside target is at 2030. So 120 obviously is a psychological number, so we may see a reaction around at 120. So we may have a turnaround, a move up to 120, then a sell-off. But primarily what we're looking for is a pullback down to possibly 1910. From there we catch a bid going up towards 120. From 120 we might see some retracement all the way back down to 1910. We might have some constant, or we might have up to 120, have some consolidation, might have a pullback, then a retest, then a turnaround, sorry, all the way up to 2030. Beyond 2030, we're looking up at 2092, which has been the highs of 2017 so far. A move up to 2092, I possibly expect some selling momentum to come down, or we might get up to 121. Then we'll possibly see some selling momentum or some profit taking in around those levels. Now, if we do see a deeper pullback than we are from where we are, so we say we don't hold 1910, we're looking to hold a 1960 potentially. And the reason I said 1960, I'm just going to mark it out on the charts here. 1960 because over here we did have some selling momentum come in the market enough that 1960 level. It's going to change the color on this. Just change the color there. So in and around at 1960, we got 960. Now keep it 1862. Sorry, not 1960, 1862. So at 1862, potentially looking for some possible support, as we have had resistance over there on the left of the chart for a possible move back up to 1910. If we don't hold that level, we're looking for the very strong level in and around this 1830, beyond which we're looking all the way down to 1810. Beyond that, we're looking at 1771. Overall, though, we do seem to be in a bit of a strong uptrend. I think there's some news out in the euro in terms of the Germany and forming a coalition. So I'm just going to have a look at the higher time frames, so we can have multiple time frame perspective here. So overall, and we do seem to be in a very strong trend. We are in a bit of a pullback, so we're looking for some buy side momentum to come into the market in around this 1910 or possibly this 1860, or the very strong level in around at 1830, moving up to 120, 120.92. And 120.30. So we're just going to have a look at the monthly chart, and then we move down the time frames from there. So if you go over to the monthly chart, get scale on here correct, and just drive over to here to the left. Let's make sure my chart, here we are. So we came down into the low ones. We didn't get down to parity. What we did see is we came down to this level in around the 103s, 104s, and we did seem to find support in around those levels. Now, from those levels, we did see the Macron election. We did have a pretty strong breakout move to the upside with the euro, as we can see here, consecutive green candles here on the monthly chart, which is the highest time frame we look at. We moved all the way up into that 120 region there, in around that 120.30, in around the 120.92. As you can see, we've had a bearish candle there. The bodies are relatively small compared to these bullish candles here on the left. So even though we did have the previous month's candle did close to its low, even though we had a bit of a wick there, so far in the month of November, as we can see, after last week's strong move, we're trading near the highs of the candle. We've negated the previous month. We're trading above the previous month's highs. So we do look poised, especially as we are in a bit of an uptrend on the higher time frame here, the monthly, for more upside momentum, possibly to retest these highs, moving all the way up into the 122, 123 region. But we have to successfully navigate 120 first. Overall, it do seem like we've had a pullback, a bit of a pullback, and we look poised for continuation here on the monthly chart. So we're just going to have a look at the weekly, then the daily. So we just go over to the weekly chart here. On this weekly chart, as we can see, let's just get the pen. So we had a bit of a gap in around the Macron election. We've not filled that gap. We've had strong moves to the upside. We've pulled back down to 200 period moving average, and we've had a slow movement downwards. We've not seen a strong move downwards. What we've seen is a slow move, somewhat indecisive. We've had the strong move down is at 116.12. Now, looking back now, hindsight being 2020, does seem to be a bit of a blow off this candle here with the black triangle on it. We came down to that level, and we did trade below it all the way down to the 1560s. But as you can see by the week there, in fact, that we did close above it, close near the highs on that candle just there. That was a good sign for a possible upside momentum for a continuation of this overall trend to the upside. And what we did see is the follow through. So in the 3 consecutive weeks now, we've had a follow through. Last week in particular, closing near its highs, we do look poised for more upside momentum. We have to see how prices are in around these levels marked out here in red, beyond which we're looking all the way up into the 122s to 124, in and around those regions for possible reversals or some sell side momentum to come into the market, some weakness on the euro. But we first have to navigate the previous highs of 2017. We also have an interest rate decision in the US, so we might not see much upside momentum beyond, say, 123 or so. So let's have a look at the daily chart. So let's get scale on here correct. So on this daily chart, we can see we came down into this 116.12, briefly broke below it into 115.60, I think, and we did have a pullback. We had this very strong candle there. Had a pullback from there, from this pin bar in around the 1810 region. We had this pin bar, we had a pullback. We didn't retrace the entire move of this very strong bullish candle. Instead, what we did was come down into support it and around that 1771, is it? Around that 17. Let's just check it out just to make sure we've got our levels marked out. Oh, 1710. We came pretty close to this. Let's just see. Bear with me a second here. The lows was in around 1713, so let's just say 1710. So we came down to the 1710s. We found support, and as we can see by the size of the candles, we've got a very so in a second. Yeah, as we can see by these candles here, we've got very strong candles on the daily chart here, closing near their highs, so suggesting that there is strong buy-side momentum in this market. So we do look poised for these upside targets to see how we react in around the regions that we have seen some sell-side momentum. We've broken above these highs, not much of a reaction, very strong move. Again, we're looking for these levels here, this marked out here on the left, for a possible pullback or reversal from there, possibly down to the next major levels of support. So that should wrap up the euro dollar analysis. Thanks for watching.